So far, we have created the Azure storage account and uploaded the document in it. This is what the document that we have uploaded. And now it's time for us to use this Azure AI Search Service to use the blob storage as a data source, and so that we can further use it for the search like a rack type of app. So for that we have import and vectorize data. So what is this? So this is responsible to import the data from the supported sources like the Azure Blob Storage, right? Azure Data Lake, Azure SQL, Cosmos DB. Advantage of this is that if you are making a use of an Azure Blob Storage, then whatever the large document that is present into the Azure storage, so here whatever the document that I have uploaded over here, this is pretty large, right? Okay, so if I show you that document which I have already downloaded, this is what that document is that having some number of pages, some contents into that, and I want to search for my queries from this document to extract the particular information. So naturally, this entire unstructured PDF document has to be split into the chunks for the better retrieval of the information so that we can achieve with the help of this import and vectorized data. The another advantage of this import and vectorized data is that it generates the vector embeddings for each chunk using the embedding model. So whatever the model that you want to go for it, right, it will be using for that. So now, to do it, what we need to do is that, like, to have that vector embedding model, what we will have to implement is that we will have to go for the Azure Open AI. So let's go to the portal again here, and what we will be doing is that we will be creating the Azure Open AI service, right? So Azure Open AI, here it is there. I'm just gonna select it. Right, and then let me click on Create Azure OpenAI. So Azure OpenAI service, this is the offering from Microsoft, which helps us in uh, providing the access of the OpenAI's powerful language models, which includes the latest OpenAI models like GPT 4.0, 4.1, and various others. And even if we are going to go for building the text embedding, then the text embedding models also does exist, right? So these models can be easily adapted by for performing the specific tasks, uh, including the document summarization, image understanding, semantic search, then neutral languages to natural language for translation, and so on and so forth, which helps us in building the AI agents like the one that we use it in a call centers, virtual agents, and so on and so forth. So let us create that. I'm going to select this resource group. Of course, I'm going to select my region over here, West US. I'll give the name to that as the Azure OpenAI MSIT, and I'm going to select the pricing tier as a zero. All right. So you can even go for the full pricing tier from this here. So I clicked on that, and here this is been open. So please have a very careful look of this, right? So I have selected the West US over here, and now like whatever the model. So for the pricing for the various models has been kept over here. I'm going to select GPT 4.1 here. So I'll be having $2 for input for 1 million sub tokens, right? And output will be this much. Okay. So I'm going to select that. Let me click on next. This AI will be Azure Open AI service will be accessible across all the network. We need that so that our client application can easily access this. So when you are using the client application for building the RAG. It needs the OpenAI service, Azure OpenAI service for chat as well as for text embedding. So it should be available on the public network. But if you want to go for private network or selected network, you can very well go for that. So for that, definitely, if you are going to have your application in a particular scope of networking, then you need to create a virtual network for that. Right now, I don't want to do it. I'm just going to click on all network. Next, next. Right, and this is again going to be validated, and by Azure OpenAI service will be created. Of course, it will be deployed. It will take some time, right? But once it is done, it will be available for us, and we can now manage our deployment model with the help of the Azure AI Foundry, right? So Azure AI Foundry is also different product by Microsoft. Okay, and we use this for building the AI solutions. So let's wait here. So this is gonna how the OpenAI deployment, right? So it's done. So let us go to the source here, and then for the model deployment, we are actually gonna go for the OpenAI service with for model deployment for Azure AI Foundry portal. Let me click on that. So this is the Microsoft's unified platform for building, deploying, and managing the enterprise-grade AI application as well as agents. Right. So it's just like a full-stack development hub, right, which is tailored for generative AI, right, generative AI solutions, which is going to help teams for doing the experiments. Right. So this helps us in going for agentic development model, like with various models. Right. It gives us the appropriate infrastructure for enterprise apps. Okay. And this has been integrated with like Microsoft Fabric, GitHub Copilot, and Visual Studio. So I'm going to go for the deployments over here, and then I'm going to have the new model for the deployment. So I'm going to select deploy model, deploy base model. I'm doing that. Do this carefully, guys. So I'm going to select here GPT 4.1, right? This is the, of course, the latest one over here is GPT-5, right? Now I'm selecting GPT 4.1, right? It's the latest iteration for a model family, right? So this has been, right, so this is supporting the text image processing, JSON, parallel function call, and so on and so on. So for highly powerful it is. Let me confirm it, and then here I need to give the details. So I'm going to make the name for that. So GPT 4.1 deploy. I'm just giving the name. So like when you are using this with your semantic kernel in .NET application as well as in Python, typically for Python, some packages they don't accept the hyphen into the deployment. So that's why I'm replacing GPT 4.1 by GPT 4.1 deploy. Okay, and I'm going to customize it, and I'm going to increase the token per rate limit here for the effective execution. Right, the model version is 4.14.225 2025 here, and once the new version is available, this will be upgraded. So I'm going to click on deploy. So this will be deployed, right? Again, it will take some seconds over here. So this is it. So the target URI is the same of our Azure OpenAI service that we have created. This is the target URI for REST, and then there is an authentication key for that. We do have here the model version that has been given. This model version that we need to use it while we do coding. And thanks to Microsoft have also given us the some set of code where we can use this in a client application like Python with OpenAI SDK, right here, with a key authentication. We can even also go for intra ID authentication. Similarly, here we can also get the C sharp code over there and various other programming languages. We get that code over there, right? Okay, so this is the one that we have deployed, right? Right now, we are not going to work with the code. Eventually, I'll be showing that also. So this is what is the one, and I'm also going to go for the text embedding because I'm going to make a use of the PDF document, okay, from the blob storage for RAG. So I'm just going to click on deploy model here again, deploy base model, and I'm going to search for text embedding here. So I'm going to select text embedding 3 large. Okay, the latest and most capable embedding model this is, right, with multi-language retrieval performance improvisations. So I'm selecting this. I'm going to click on confirm. Again, I'm going to get rid of this hyphens. So I'll say text embedding large 3 model. I just say deploy. Okay, let me customize this. So this has also been deployed in my West US location, and I'm going to increase the token size and click on deploy. Right, so this is deployed. Right, again, we do have the same REST URL, right, and the key, and then here the sample code that is available over here. So again, this is the model name is different and deployment name is there different. So when you are going to connect it from Python or C sharp, it's a .NET application, we take deployment name. We don't take the model name. We go for a deployment name. Okay, so I'm going to go back here and in a deployment, here it is. This is there with me. So I do have a Azure Open AI Service created and then the deployment that is done. So now let us go back to the Azure Search Service, right here, and we have already into the import and vectorize data wizard. Again, let me show that back to you. This is what is it, import and vectorize data wizard over here, and I'm gonna say here Azure Blob Storage, right, uh, here, and then I'm gonna click on RAG. I'm gonna select the subscription here. This is what my subscription is. Under that subscription, the storage account, the under that storage account, my blob container name. This is a policy doc which we have created already here. This is what the container name, doc storage account, and the container name here. I'm selecting that, right. Then parsing mode, I'm keeping it default, right, and then I'm gonna click on next here. So this is gonna create the data source, right, for my Azure AI Search Service. Right now, since for the vectorization, I need the Azure Open AI. Right, so that's what the service is. Subscription is this, and my Open AI service, Azure Open AI service, which we have created just before some time. Right, and my deployment model is a text embedding 3 large. We have deployed that. Then clicked on the tick box, and then next here. I don't have any images for the vectorization. My document doesn't contain that, right? So I'm not going to need that. So here there is nothing. I'm not going to use anything over here from this. This is what my image. I'm not going to use that anyways. But if at all it is supposed to vectorize the image over here, right? I need to create a separate project for that. Okay, so this is it, and then it says that no access to the subscription, no AI Foundry project. I need to create that project. So I'm not going to use that right now. Even if I go for extract tricks from image over here, right, I need to create a multi-service account over there. That's a different story altogether. So I don't have that thing, so I'm just gonna uncheck it, clicking on next, and now this is gonna create the index. So here it says that the index will be created, and then after, what is the frequency of scheduling your index? So once after each 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, so based upon the change frequency of your document into the store. So you may have some back office application which is uploading the data into your blob storage, and then you want the index to be done for those newly added document also. So you can actually check it based upon that. So I'm actually going to do this on daily basis. Then here the index field preview and edit. So these are the index fields which will be generated. Content right now they are disabled right here. So text vector is there. Text vector is going to have the vector embedding, the title of the document, right, which is known as metadata storage name, right, chunk, the chunk, the small portion of your from your document, and then we are going to have the IDs, and these are their data types. Okay, so here it is. I'm going to click on next, right, and this is the name of the index. So I'm just going to say that now policy hyphen index. I'm doing that. Click on create. Okay, right. So this is going to take some time, right? Oh, here. That's it. Right now, I don't want to search, so I'm just going to click on close over here. And now, if you see that, I take you to the data source. So the data source is being generated over here with the blob storage. The name will be taken from the index. It's whatever the index name that we have given, hyphen data source. Index is also there, right? So that's the index. When I click on this here, this is what that index is, and then I do have the fields into it. So chunk ID, parent ID, chunk, right, title, and text vector, and all these are retrievable. Means we can use them for retrieval purpose as well as they are searchable. That's already been done. Correct. So that's what the thing is, right? So our index is there. We will now right now this is zero because we are yet to execute anything from that, right? So that's it. Like indexer will also be generated over here, which is going to have the data ingestion in it. So this is how we have connected our uh, Azure storage, the blob, with our Azure AI Search Service. Now let's go here to the overview, and there is a Search Explorer available. Okay, right. The index. Let me click on view, and then I'm going to go for the JSON view over here, and then this is my query. So what I'm going to do is that here I'm going to put that um, let's say I'm going to put that percentage of depreciation for vehicle age less than 6 months. I'm just going to put some query over there, right? So here and say that what is the percentage of, right, depreciation, right, for vehicle, right, with age less than 6 months, right? And then I let me click on search here, right? So have a look over here is that, right, I had the document, and then this is the vectorization that's been done here. Okay, and then like here, here we do have the data that has actually been extracted over there uh, from the table or there. So it has given the whole thing, of course, yes. We'll have to do the further fine tuning for that so that we will get only that particular result. Okay, right? We'll get only that particular result. Okay, and eventually we need to do that. And here also, it is also saying that which document that has actually been vectorized over there. So this is how the vector embedding that has been done, and this is the power of Azure AI Search. We can use this through the Python application to build a rack solution, .NET with semantic kernel, everything that we can do over here from this. Okay, so this is how that we can have a simple search query to work with. Okay, I can very well get rid of the rest of the things from here. Okay, and here it is. Right, click on search. UI is a bit thing here. So this is the embedding stuff, right? We will have to do this properly. Okay, through our application. So this is how that Azure AI Search Service that can be used for vectorizing the data. Now, if I go to the indexes over here, it will show us the document count that has been indexed and the indexer over here. Right, index run before 3 minutes. Right. So this is the way that how you can actually have an Azure AI search service used for building the AI solution. Of course, this is from the portal that we did it. We need to write the application for that, and eventually we will be doing that. Please stay tuned for this. So we have created the blob storage. We had Azure Open AI Search Service created with the embedding. Okay, and the further model deployment, which we did it with the help of an Azure AI Foundry, and then we have created the data source with the help of the import and vectorized data wizard. Okay, so that's the thing. So this we can use it for the in our coding with our .NET or Python application. One important thing is that like you can even do this which you can create the data sources, indexes and indexes using code also. So if I take you to the webnet helper.com, this is what my website is, and there I have already given all the steps here into the greater details through the code, right? How we can actually create the Azure AI search service, which have the Azure AI search service, and then how you can basically generate the embedding, how you can create a data source, everything I have explained into that. So my webnet helper is my website over here where you can see all the details. Thank you very much, guys.